What is going on, you tube world? Steve, Vinny, Dave. Insert Revolution podcast, episode number 116. And it is 116 because I went through the list. Everything checked out. So 112 for next year, or this year, is going to be whatever number. But everything on the list that I've got for the episodes is in numerical order. So I'm like, okay, now that conundrum, that quandary is put to bed. Solved.
Are you positive?
One world problem checked off. Welcome aboard.
Okay, hold on. Why 18, Ty? I just have to ask. Why did you watch episode 18?
Was that out of your Tumblr and you picked that number like the old lottery system, or
Was that one of the longer episodes that you just needed to make sure you had something in the background? Because as we know, a lot of the older episodes are 4 and 5 hours long in certain situations. So
yeah,
with a buttload of rambling.
Oof. Yeah, if you want to hear stuff not go on topic, that would be the stuff to go. I think about 12 or 13. There's about 4 or 5 of them right in a row. This is going to be the topic. Nope, next week. And then it's like, no, really, this week we will touch on the topic. We will get to it. So,
yep,
again, progress, evolution.
Exactly.
Trying to maintain some semblance of continuity.
Which we still to this day fail at times, but
Hey.
What's going on, Jeff? We've done, I'll say, really well, because again, we can all take the back roads and not even see the freeway again, and I mean we somehow get back there. I don't know what Vinny's doing. He's shucking and driving.
Looks like he's washing his hands, and now he's gonna dance.
Yeah, see,
when was it? He sang last week, so now he's gonna dance this week. Okay.
What's up, Jeff?
The new and improved IRP.
Entertainment perfection, value. Boys. You can't improve perfection.
Okay, that may be a little bit of a stretch there, Vinny, but we can appreciate you, bro.
I'll start. Steve, how's the last week been?
Work's been a kick in the nuts. I'm dragging ass. Yesterday, my day started about 5:45. Yes, I know, not the same for you, Dave, but 5:45 for calls. And so it's, as the week progresses, I'm going to be hitting a brick wall, I'm sure, before long. But work is work. I have at least, I won't call it organizing, but I've kind of started shifting and cleaning up a little bit to try and get more organized. Still trying to find time to get my video done for the collection. It's one of those, making sure that I at least have an hour at a minimum to go through everything. I do, of course, have my cheat sheet because, I can't remember everything, all the set names and stuff. But I need to get that done so I can start working on integrating all that kind of fun stuff. Like I said, try and get a little bit more organized. Put up all this basketball shit that's just sitting over here. I moved partial sets or whatever into a 3,200 count box that they're in a box, they're in order. I have to go back and jot down which cards are missing, that type of stuff. But I put all that stuff in there, trying to reorganize a couple other boxes here on the table of sets I want to put together, get them all together. I'm not necessarily worried about, putting them in order,
Mm-hmm.
but at least get all the cards for the same sets together. Put those in another box, try and get all the Broncos stuff all together and a little bit more organized that it used to be like. So it's a lot of work, especially when you start on it, 2 years ago, and you make progress, and then it's like, why am I doing this?
You just get burnt out. We've
Yes.
all done it. You
Yes.
start, you're like, best of intentions, let's roll, let's get it, let's fucking go. I'm tired of
Yep.
it. Get a dumpster, burn it all.
No.
And you're like, nope, I can't do that, and slowly start whittling away, and that's the tough part of it. When you actually have a dearth of cards, it's you can't sit there and just be like, I'm gonna fucking organize today and do it all day and be like, oh, I'm done. You can't.
Yeah, I wish.
You can't. I mean, if anybody can, they don't have a lot of cards, or they really, really, really fucking love looking at them.
Or
Because
they were really organized from the start.
Yeah, you got to put like 3 things in there. Oh, I got that. Okay, this box. Boom. This here. Done. Yes. No, it's
work. It's a lot of work. Hey, Joe.
mentally taxing because again, you're sitting there. It's like, okay, and then you get sidetracked. Like, man, I don't remember what's going on with these cards, and then you start looking through a run of like 97 beginning. It's like, oh man, the collector's edge TD stuff. I haven't looked at these in a while. So then you're looking at cards.
Well, and I had, all this. Of course, this is just one sheet because, so, just set names and all this other kind of stuff and cards missing. And you kind of start looking at it and going, what number is that? I can't even fucking read it. Because I was working on it for so long that, I just. So eventually I'll have to get back to that and break out the 5,000 count box of hockey again and relook through that so I can get a better list and reach out to our good friend Vinny and see what maybe he has lying around. Because there are some, it's nothing of significance or importance. It's just when you're 50, 60 cards short of a large set, why not try and finish it, right? It's a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
But onto a more positive note. First pickup of 2023. Might as well. I know what my goals. I said I was going to focus on 90s, 2000 stuff, 100 or less. But how about a 101 to start the year off? Black printing plate. 2015 Goodwin Champions black printing plate. As I throw it on my keyboard, we all know it's a 101. I still think they need to change the printing plate stuff to 104s, 204, 304, 404. But whatever. Not a bad way to start the year off.
No. No, not at all. Again, anytime you can hammer out a 101 and you're not breaking the bank, that's a victory for all.
And it still falls into the realm. So it's not anything outside of the realm or the main focal point per se. Yes, it doesn't fall in line with the 90s, 2000s stuff, numbered to 100 or less. But still, when you stumble across something in the mid-afternoon and it's going fairly cheap, why not? Yeah. Good way to start the year off, as far as I'm concerned.
So, and I've talked about it with Josh Johnson, some of the other players I collect. And I don't know if you feel in the same boat or you're in the same boat as I am. When you see something that's super cheap you're like, man, that's, even if it's something that's not like in the brackets, I can't let it go that cheap. That's no.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
criminal.
it's like
And
a couple years earlier, I'd be like, okay, there's a Panini, whatever, Honors 101 plate. It's like, well, if I'm going to get that for, if I'll spend 40 on that, and this is at like 15 with 5-10 minutes left or something, like, okay. Looks like we'll go for this, but at the same time, you're like, I'm not going to spend like $80 on it or $100, or like you got your limitations. But in the same vein, it's like, you can't, no. This isn't a charity here. We're not giving this one away to somebody. It's
right. Well, and that's why there's times in which I'll send certain TD stuff to you that I know I already have a copy, and it's like, oh, Dave, I know it's not one of your main PC type things, but it still falls within the 90s, 2000s, and there's a lot of stuff that you like in those years, like I do. It's a Hall of Famer, and I don't know how many you've gone after, but at the same time, it's like, if you want to make a run for something, here's your opportunity, because it's really cheap, and it's cheaper than what I paid for mine. So,
and usually you got yours several years in the past where it wasn't, oh, I just got mine last week and now here's another one that's come up. It's like, no, I got mine 10-12 years ago, and now, oh, the card boom. Well, this card isn't, it's booming, but it's not booming price-wise.
it's not booming
in value, or the secondary value.
So yeah, that's it from my side.
Vinny, what do you got for the week? I can tell the dogs have quieted down a little bit.
That's because we're on mute, Dave. We're on mute. Nothing really. I haven't picked up anything other than grabbing a couple things for the Christmas episode next year.
This year.
Yeah, this year. I got a new cutter. Other than that, really have not seen anything that fits the bill. I want to make them solid. I want to pick off stuff. I've lost stuff left and right this past month. Well, 17 days in, I've won dang thing. I've lost everything I've gone after. So it's been a rough,
including your mind with the dogs, because they're a little aggressive to start this episode off. I know you said the better half isn't there, which doesn't help if they sleep all day.
They slept all day, so now they're wound up.
Vinny, what are you drinking? Ty wants to know.
Sprite.
No, Mountain Dew's been cut out of the diet last time I heard.
Well, every once in a while I have one, but it's been dramatically decreased compared to previous times.
Vinny the baby.
Yeah, I shaved the beard. I gotta go into the office on Thursday for an event. So get that done, gotta take care of that, and then I'll be good to go.
Well, I shaved too since last episode. Yes, we know, Dave, you haven't.
I didn't get the memo.
Haircut this weekend for me.
Like I say, it's gonna be soon. I'd love to make it till March with the hair, but for 3 years without a haircut. But yeah,
it's one of those. I can always bring my clippers to National, and we can just shave your head at National.
do it right next to the backyard breaks booth.
I just, talk about content creation, baby.
Oh man, yeah.
Dave's haircut for the first time in 3 years as we
hopefully see some of our good friends there and scream at them, let's go. throw the Ethereum and Dogecoin at them, and yeah, it's like now it's not bad out of the shower, but after like a day of work, it's like no, there's no volume at all, and what I want to do, like the Morgan Wallen shit, it just doesn't curl and puff out in the back. It's just sort of there. So very fine hair, not fine as in ooh, fine. Fine as in ooh, it's like a 0.5 millimeter or whatever pencil lead. So
Before we
yeah,
get too far into the further part of the episode, I have a feeling this is probably on the top of your mind too, but I'll go ahead and take this one for you, Dave, because we know how much you love this time of year. For those who have not seen or may not have known, voting has officially opened as of tonight for the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. Rules are still the same. Go watch Legends Never Die video to recap the qualifications. But the easiest rundown, in order to vote, you have to have been making videos. And I'm going to say videos because I hate the word content, but you've had to be making videos for 1 year. That gives you the opportunity to cast your vote. Anybody, Dave's having connectivity issues, and maybe it's me. For individuals that you vote for, they must have made videos for the last 3 years. And yes, this will be checked, which is actually nice to know that it is being validated. You can't vote for anybody who's been put in previously. All the current Hall of Famers are in the video description. You can vote up to 10 channels. 10 channels. You can vote up to 10 channels. Only 5 get in. You must comment on his video, letting them know that you made a video. But outside of that, it's the same as it was last year. But just FYI, if you want to vote, there are people that you want to get into the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. Make sure you cast your ballot, and it's open for 2 weeks. So through the 31st. So you only have 2 weeks, and it must be a video response.
Which again, I like the condensed time to do it. It's good for a month, but you start stringing the fucking the line out. It's like, yeah, you get a ton that first week, then it's like a sprinkling. No, just start peppering them out. This first week should just be nothing but content to watch. And then again, it is a good way to find some other channels. We've said that.
Absolutely. I've found others. I may not watch a lot of their stuff consistently, but I have found others.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm going to say is I'd like to see a football guy make it into the Hall of Fame this year. And I hate to say this, there isn't a ton of us. And I say us because 2 of the 3 people on this panel are football guys mostly, outside of Josh Johnson for you, Dave. But for the most part, we are more football centric. But I would like to see a football guy get in, or a basketball guy get in for that matter. Because I don't think there's a basketball guy on there really either. It's all baseball.
Yeah, I mean, you got, what they say, Andy, I think, must have got in the last couple of years. I know he does some basketball, but he doesn't show off a lot of stuff. That's the only bad part about Andy. I want to see, again, more content. I want to see more videos, but yeah, it's a lot of baseball, a lot of it.
Yep.
And a lot
Joe,
of it, which is
Joe, hold that question because we may kind of focus on the playoffs a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that because that's as good as
and
Steve
yes,
was. That playoff game for my squadron was equally as good.
Yes, of course, Carlos, the most prestigious made-up Hall of Fame, as we know. We can't forget Stofe is there too.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, the Cardboard Podcast is looking to make a comeback. If you go look at Stofe's channel and Bob's channel, they've uploaded the same video. Cardboard Podcast making a comeback in 2023. Maybe, perhaps, allegedly. We'll see. Just thought I'd throw that out there as a side note.
I was gonna say I saw that about noonish, 11 this morning, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it was something like that. And I stumbled across Bob's first, and then it was like, oh, Mark has one too. Interesting trailer, cliffhanger. We'll see. We'll see what pans out. Those guys have a lot of fun.
And I wish they'd do it more of the live shows, but I know them trying to maintain focus is tough as it is. So
No, Dave.
the pre-recorded shows seem to work a lot better, even though again you want to see them live, yucking it up and all that fun stuff. So yeah, hopefully they come back there. They're two wild and crazy guys that just want to have fun.
Sure. This is true, Carlos. This is true. We have to consider the source. But much love to Mark and Bob. Hope they make a go for it this year, or go at it. Maybe at least for a time.
Yeah, with young children and all that stuff going on. And
Yeah.
Your time is very A, precious, and B, consumed. So
Yep.
that might be one in which where they're doing some pre-recording at 10 in the morning or noon to get something out and get that precious content out there. So just to make something work, be nice to hear them their unique brand of banter.
Facts.
And again, if you want to hear us go off the rails, yeah, that's something. When they go off the rails, you're not just going off a train track into the ravine. You're going off the train track into like another solar system. It's you don't even know what the hell's going on. Talking about cheese, and then cards, and then quantum physics, and then the theory of relativity, and
Yeah, they go off the reservation.
yeah,
Big time.
Yeah, in a hurry. So yeah, not much here. Couple jerseys came in. One I'm wearing of. If you've got a question, the answer. Couple cards. I'm waiting on a few. Some finally came in from Canada, and that took quite a lengthy time. The old exclusives. Again, not in the bracketed years. This is what, 13, 14? Upper Deck. Again, not a very the placement of the numbering too is pretty shitty. But I think that was like $20 shipped. A lime green Dumba. And those are $250. Somewhere in there. And again, third copy, maybe third or fourth. the artist formerly known as Mike Stanton and Johnson to 89 on a platinum 11, I think. And then one, I got more stuff last week, but this was a
Is that the Hall of Fame?
hardcore, yeah, hollow view. Again, some of that stuff earlier, even back in September, was going for a ton.
That's the Choice Reserve, isn't it?
Yep. That one and this one cost the same amount. And
Number 5.
Somewhere up there, off the reflection of the screen, other side. And then
How many of the 5 do you have, Dave?
I'd have to look. That's probably number 2.
96, 97. Is that the
Nope.
Atomic?
8-9.
8-9. Is that the Atomic?
No, I wish. This is the refracted 100. That was another value one where I think I showed this one last week. If not during the show, after.
I think you did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yanni Hermy, Bruder to 25, and then
If not, it was in the after show.
these were the be a player points, like you redeem them. And again, I don't remember how many. Because again, I wasn't collecting hockey hardcore then. The he shoots, he scores, and on the back, basically in the middle of the card, they're 2 of 20. So doing a little damage in the card world. But again, like Vinny, it's either losing a lot or just stuff comes up and it's going for more than you really want to pay for it. So there's some other stuff coming in. I mean, I've got a couple here, a couple there, but I thought the mail was slow around Christmas time. Man, it's been fucking dragging ass now.
We didn't even get anything delivered today, even though I should have. Nothing like that I was waiting for or anything. But.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been bad.
No,
Bills,
I think that's an understatement. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your train of thought there.
No, that's fine. It happens at this time of the night.
No, he's always been Stanton, Ty. It was John Carlo before it became Mike, or vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa. So yeah, it's that's one I don't know if they made supers for those. I don't remember. But if they have, that's one I've never seen.
What year was it?
11. I mean, I know they made supers, but I don't know if they made supers for the duels. Because I've got
I was following you. I was like, be interesting to see. Anybody go to Beckett.com and look at 2011. What was it? Sterling?
Bowman
Platinum. Oh, Bowman Platinum. Duels and see if there's any notation of any supers or anything 101 related.
Yeah, it'd be what dual autograph relic. That's the set name. So I mean, good job, Tops. You really fucking broke out the thinking caps for that name.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's better to be easy.
No. teammate tandems, something fun like that.
Topps Platinum or Bowman Platinum? Why do I keep asking?
Bowman. Yeah, Bowman Platinum.
Let's see. Dual relic autographs. Let's see what pulls up here. See if it pulls up any variations. Red refractors. Nope. Super refractors.
Yeah, that's one I've never seen.
Yep.
And I
Because
hope that
there's
whoever
12 duels.
Okay. I'd hope that
So, yeah.
whoever would fucking include Josh Johnson, and just have Mike Stanton, Giancarlo Stanton, and that's it, because they'll lose a very hefty bid from me. And that's sort of the thing. Again, we'll obviously touch on this down the road, but that's sort of in the thinking of when we say the National isn't going to be like the card portion of it won't be number one on our list, or probably number two, maybe even number three. But the saving of money, socking away of funds, it'll be for like cards like that. It'll be Steve pops in one of the TDs in the top 20, and he's like, okay, it's at a price that we can wiggle some stuff, and that's sort of the thought process with the money. Again, yes, pay shit off in cash. You're not putting it on a card. You're not sitting there and just pushing the bill down the road. But just in case, because again, some of those cases when you look at card shows, yeah, there's a lot of prism, a lot of bullshit from the last 2 years. You see some stuff, it's like, okay, there's a Randy Moss rookie auto, there might be some older essential credentials, there might be some old PMG, you might have a Mantle 52 Topps rookie in there, and those are the cases that I like to go through, because it's like, okay, this seller, they get it. It might not be all pretty. It might not be fucking like just everything's like, what is it, symmetrically positioned. As long as I can sort of see half of the card, I'm good. Because then you get a little more layout there and a little more variety. I don't like the stacking because then you can't see shit. Well, this is all one player. Well, how do I know that?
Well, and if it's different cards, what purpose does it serve to stack like the same player in a stack if you have 6 or 7 different cards of said player?
Yeah, get a 2-row graded or get a 1-row graded. Put them in there, index card, whatever the divider is that you use, and then put them in there, and then put a price on there, and then put some on the table. We'll negotiate. And
unless so let's I'm not technically going to be playing devil's advocate here either.
Oh, you will.
No, it's if you think about something though, for those people who may or may not do that, they're probably expecting somebody to be like, "Hey, what's under there?"
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those in which it opens the lines of communication to try and wheel and deal and finagle and so on and so forth. But at the same time, depending, in my opinion, I mean, I've never set up at a show, so this is just my opinion, nor would I ever set up at a show. It's one of those that if I'm trying to move stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be cognizant of people's time. And there may be a lot of people who skim a showcase and they move on.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit if their stuff's stacked and making assumptions. Oh, okay, I don't see anything that I want, but yet knowing that there's a stack of Mike Trout cards, Carlos's favorite person, or Tom Brady cards,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to sit there and be like, I'm going to make the assumption and thinking that that's a stack of Tom Brady or Mike Trout cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a stack of stuff, and obviously, maybe the seller isn't wanting to move the cards underneath it. So from a time perspective, to me, it would be advantageous for them to have everything out individually, or if there's a bunch of slabs, at least have it where you see the label of the slab so you actually know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's raw cards and it's a stack, not everybody's going to take the time. So to me, you're running the risk of potentially having somebody be like, yeah, okay, I see a couple stack of cards there. Could be the same player, could be a different player, whatever. Same set. It could be a multitude of things. I'm not, nothing else is interest. I'm not going to sit there and be like, hey, what's up underneath that? To then have somebody say, well, they're all such and such cards. Well, okay, I want to see them.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, that could be counterproductive too in the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like, what's behind door number 2? Why?
exactly. So, like I said, I never set up at a show, would never set up at a show. So it's one of those in which you don't really know exactly what's going through their head because, everybody has their own personal preference for whatever reason. Their guidelines, their expectations, their setup of how they want stuff to look. I know that got your attention, Vinny. So
See how they're
to
lighting.
that's a stretch, Dave, because when you're in the
Yes.
convention center, you have no control over the lighting per se.
Well, you do. You can have like a table lamp there and a plug-in or something.
I'm guessing that custom container, Carlos, is the garbage can. Just thought I'd ask. I'm pretty sure that's the answer. But then again, that wouldn't be the custom. But I digress because trash cans come in all shapes, forms, sizes, dimensions, width, height, depth. But anyways,
So yeah, that's sort of the thought process there to where we have our cards that we want, and then there's like our cards we've either never seen or we've seen once. So that's sort of like the stock just in case, just in the chance. So like as the kids would say, you can make that play, and that's one card, that dual super. Is one of the Josh Johnsons I'm I'm after, and again that'll be something as I gotta make a goal video too at some point. I gotta make any sort of card related video at some point. But that's what I'd like to do. I looked in the notebook of information and saw that I'd went through the Topps triple threads, and I've got I think the ones I've got. So I've got to go back and make a new list with the ones I need, so it's easier to mark off instead of like, oh, I added this one or added that one. So, that just jams all the fucking verbiage up. So that'll be something just so, and it's going to be pretty much Josh Johnson centric. Again, anyone else, if I find anything, it'll be fucking sprinkles on a donut. It's, hey, a North cut to 25. I'll buy it anyway, but the one McCown I'm looking for is 02. I think the contenders or whatever it was, the rookie idols. The dual auto with Favre to 25. That's the one I need. And I know there might be a couple others, but again, that's for down the road, but that's sort of the thinking with.
already covered that, Joey. Already on it. Already on it. For those just joining late, Joey's comment. Just
Take
remember,
heed.
FYI.
Fill up the content space with Hall of Fame nomination videos. Again, Joey as another. That's right, Joey. We covered it quick.
Nope.
That was.
Yeah, within the first, 15, 20 minutes, give or take. And no
Yeah.
worries, Joey. Thanks for the reminder in the event that we didn't cover it. But
Yes.
we did want to make sure that we mentioned it. So get your votes in. Damn it.
Yeah. Like Andy Williams sings about, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
For some.
For all.
For some. Don't change my nomenclature, Dave.
You're into circle jerks. Huh? What? Huh?
What?
Nothing.
Did I hear
No,
circle
you can
jerk? Who's
Yeah.
having a circle jerk?
I don't know.
Will the circle jerk be televised?
Yes, Carlos, we know. You post more videos than all of us combined. I think he's found an opportunity to tap into that money tree somewhere.
No.
Speculation?
No.
The rumor mill? Anyways. Allegedly. Yes, our favorite hashtag of the IRP.
Carlos, the ombudsman of the community.
There's some nomenclature from the past.
No, that's hashtag scholarship, man. Come on. Let's get it right, Vinny. Let's get it right.
Well, the nomenclature is scholarship, so.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
The scholarly nomenclature.
Even better, Dave. Look at you go. Look at you go.
So the topic, which I loved, and it's always one where you see all these delightful humans, and then Vinny just runs away, intermingling on the video recaps or the videos from every card show, trade show, garage sale, swap meet, wherever they run into each other. Oh yeah, it's been burnt up a long time ago. It always stuns me, and I think I've mentioned this previously in videos on my own. You chirp about someone, about something, and you get to see them. You get to run into them, you get to rub shoulders with them. Ooh, might even be in a video, like a national recap with a particular person that wears basketball jerseys 2 or 3 sizes too small. And bump into him a couple nationals ago. I won't mention names.
Brad.
When I saw that was like a baby otter clapping moment for me. I was very excited. And I know Brad's not the person. He's not the type to do a lot of shit talking or bad mouthing, which the tip of the cap to Brad. But I don't know how fun that's going to be this year. I know you've already said there needs to be a bail set up for a possible member of the board here, and I'll make
or
sure.
others potentially.
That one. Hey, now.
Why are you pointing at me?
Just being a jago. Sorry.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Dave.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
I was just doing a dab.
Uh-huh. Sure you were. Sure you were. No, Brad's too much of a stand-up guy. He doesn't involve himself in the...
Well, he doesn't
Well,
lower himself to such trivial details and nonsensical gibberish. On the other hand, I don't know. If I see the short bus,
you were extremely outspoken.
I see the short bus crash. I see home ec close. I smell that human stink line hasn't showered and he's trying to play basketball. Team Schmedium, he's rolling in with the DeMarcus Cousins jersey from fourth grade. And I mean DeMarcus Cousins' fourth grade jersey. And all these other twat waffles. How it's gonna be tough, especially if they're in a whole gang, a whole pod of these delightful humans. It's gonna be like, man, it'll be tough. I can only hope our good friends.
I'm just going to leave that there for a while. Just throwing that out.
Were,
Which one of the like guys?
Sports Card Radio will be there too, hopefully to deflect some of the heat that I have with all these friends and chatter with them. Especially, I know they go for more big name folks in the industry. But getting back to it, it's weird how people call these folks out on several videos, and you run into somebody at a show and it's chummy, or there's nothing said.
It's playing both sides of the card. Or I should say, they're being PC. Let's use the correct verbiage, nomenclature. They're trying to be PC. And look,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of a lot of these people. So from like my perspective, and I hope, Dave, to a degree, you kind of think the same way. You're not going and looking for these people to try and like raise a stink.
I'll smell the stink line.
But if the situation presents itself and you're in the vicinity and you hear something that's just bullshit or whatever, Dave, I can see, wouldn't shy away from opening his mouth without any hesitation. Me, it's one of those in which it would have to be based on the situation and the circumstance. Because I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of confrontation. I'm really not. I have a lot of opinions, strong opinions. But at the same time, I try and put my energy elsewhere because, as far as I'm concerned, these pieces of shit don't deserve one breath or any word coming out of my mouth. That's kind of where I put these people. And if, I'm sitting there, whatever, and somebody decides to pop off and call my mom a whore or some shit, yeah, then we're going to have problems, But it's the situation, the circumstance has to be warranted for me to even waste my time. Because, yeah, it may make me feel better, but at the end of the day, does it really matter? Does it really change anything? No, because these people are still going to be pieces of shit. It doesn't matter. The only thing that's going to matter is that given that the market continues to dip,
Yep.
you did, Daniel.
Dipping.
that's when we're going to see these people slowly start to go away. And it's a law of attrition. If big money can't be made and the following continues to shrink and they're not really offering any sort of value to what they're bringing to the table other than also opening their mouth and talking about people in a negative light.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it before. Eventually these people just disappear. Dave can answer that question.
I can, and I will. That's Jay of Mojo Sports. That is Team Schmedium. I wish I could wear clothing from like 10th grade in current physical condition. I could, but I'd be Team Small. So, and you don't want to see rolls of that quantity unless you're at a Thanksgiving dinner table. So,
Thanks for the visual, Dave. Thanks for the visual.
well, wait till Chicago. I can actually give you a real visual then.
Dave. I love you, brother.
Right there. It's a high five.
I love you, brother, but come on. Let's not go there. Let's not go off the reservation. Let's leave that for the Cardboard Podcast.
I'll see if they've got the Borat, his swimsuit. You want to talk about the scatter people? Woo!
Hey, we can have the showroom floor to ourselves then.
People looking down at what the fuck is that, and just like slabs hitting the floor like bullet casings. Man. Thought Chicago had violence before us.
Right. See, Carlos, and that's ultimately what I'm getting at. And Ty, listen, you're not a piece of shit. Are you a little high strung? Are you a little out there in left field from time to time? Yes, but you're not a piece of shit. You've made mistakes. We all have. But you've learned from said mistakes. You're not a piece of shit. And I'm going to be honest, not all the people that Dave can't stand are actual pieces of shit. It's the fact that they've come into what I would consider our world, trying to claim that they are the all-knowing and everything else. And it's like, that's really where the frustration and the aggravation comes into play for most of us. They've come out of the middle of nowhere. Like the hobby started in 2016 or whatever the hell it is, the going year, Dave. Not that it matters.
2018.
And they act like they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they're passing on bad information, incorrect information, using incorrect nomenclature, and they're held at a high level of respect and appreciation in our space. Now, on the flip side, we can't fault them for garnering the following that they've gotten somehow, shape, form, or fashion, and that these people support them.
Mm-hmm.
We can't fix stupid.
No.
We can correct ignorance and educate ignorance. Unless it's Bob Lewis.
Then it's the fucking...
Because then we're screwed. Because Bob Lewis, not only is Bob Lewis ignorant, oh, hey, Bob, how's it going? I didn't see you there. Just kidding. What's going on, Bob? How you doing, sir?
Robert.
okay. I can't believe I missed the YouTube Hall of Fame talk. That's the only time I have anything to contribute because of my
Statue.
induction a few years ago. Yes. What up, C?
Yeah. It's,
No, it's always fun. I always like to see everybody's reaction each year. Not to be self-promoting or anything, but did you guys catch any videos today?
yes, we talked about that too.
Yeah, that was
See,
fun.
Bob, you're late to the party.
I
You're
know.
late to the party.
Yeah, I don't even have a smart aleck response to that.
Hey, you know what? Just know that we're at least paying attention.
I appreciate
We
that.
brought up the YouTube Hall of Fame voting now open 14 days, so through the 31st. What the qualifications are, who's already in it, what's all this other kind of stuff. And I made mention of the trailer sneak peek of the comeback of the Cardboard Podcast. So, hey, we are here all about showing appreciation for our peeps.
I appreciate that. Now, you should know we're picking Tuesday nights, so no, I'm just kidding.
Well, there's nothing else on Tuesday night, so
You might as well. Other people have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any sort of set schedule or anything. We're thinking kind of like once a month, We're both at that sort of stage of life where youngsters, busy at work, a lot of stuff going on in life, as they say. But we would shoot each other some like texts like, hey, we gotta do something sometime soon. And then like 8 months later, we made a 40-second video. So that's progress. There is more to it all than and I'm trying to save some of it for the actual episode, but it's pretty hilarious stuff. If I can say that about my own show, or our show, should be a good time. Nobody is safe. I'll tell you that.
nor should they be.
No matter how elite you are in the community.
Oh, nor should they be.
That's right.
Everybody's got the target.
all
Everybody's
you
got.
need- Yeah. Nothing in bad taste as long as you got a sense of humor. I think you'll be all right. So we'll see. What is Carlos dissing me about? Yes.
No, and I'd made mention of that too. Figured you guys both have super youngsters, work, wonky schedules. It's like, yeah, it's tough to.
His schedule
anything.
is sort of like he works till like 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning with his what the heck do they call those people?
Flight attendant.
Yeah. He's in the tower. Control.
Air traffic control.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be fun. We've got some good ideas, and I'm usually good for ideas. It's the actually like putting it to making it happen. The actual work part of it that doesn't always happen. I can't do the technical stuff with the editing. He's got all the software and all the tricks and tools, so I just shoot him ideas, and some of them stick, and that's it's got to be funny, and that's kind of our rule of thumb. But what we think is funny is probably a lot different than most folks. But yeah, the general response seems to be pretty pumped.
No, when you think that's funny,
yeah, that says a lot.
that's the winner dinner of chicken. I like the.
Oh yeah.
It's magic.
I was over at the dude's house earlier today. He got for Christmas a Far Side calendar, with just to peel off every day.
Yep.
That guy's sense of humor was out there. And I feel like that probably Pee Wee Herman and Monty Python like shaped my, maybe even a little bit Ernest, shaped my sense of humor growing up. Yeah, the one of like it's like a chicken serving their chicken son chicken soup, because chicken soup, number one, is good for the soul, or it's good for the flu, and number two, it's nobody that you know.
Yeah,
Dark.
Gary Larson, he had my dad had a bunch of the little for us it would have probably been Garfield.
Oh yeah.
Those
Picture books.
rectangular books. My dad had the Far Side stuff, so I mean that I went from Garfield to the Far Side in a hurry. I'm like, okay, Garfield, no, I'm sitting there and I'm all the Far Side stuff's up in my room. I'm reading through it like 3 times a day, and
Yeah,
trying to figure out
some of them just like stick out, like the deer with the bullseye, like, you know, bummer of a birthmark, man. Or like the guy walking in the desert, you see all the footprints from dunes behind him, and he's like, oh dang, I probably shouldn't have been eating this bag of potato chips for the last 2 miles. Yeah.
yeah, it's one. I love that stuff. That's something that I've eventually. I don't know how many moons down the road. It's like I hope somebody's selling a collection of those books, and I could just buy it in one fell swoop and be like, okay, we're done.
Yeah. I came across a couple of those. I've been kind of so all the stuff from where I lived in West Virginia years and years ago, you know, the house I grew up in, that a lot of that stuff from the basement is now in my basement to save the parents some money for a storage shed, and we had extra space on us. So I'm kind of like, I'm sick of looking at it all, so I'm kind of going through one box at a time. I went through one and you know, found some little gems like this. A 91 big pin, right? Hold on, I think I can do this. Oh wait, I don't know, man. I thought if I pushed a setting, I could make it so you guys could actually read it. But other thing,
we could read it.
Oh, you could? It was backwards, wasn't it?
No, we could read it.
Oh dang. Then I did have it right. So if it looks backwards on the thing, it's right on the video. But can I show something a little controversial, maybe, that I found?
Yes.
Okay.
No, Bob, it's not allowed. Not here.
Well,
That's.
I mean,
come on now.
This is something. So, you know, Grandpa was in World War II. Oh, wait a minute. Where's that? Kind of weird, you know, just rifling through stuff, little papers and notes my grandparents wrote to my dad, and then there this is, just kind of in there.
Yeah, but that's something that you don't see every day, and it's from the era.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, where did he get that? Did he just get it from somebody, or did he? I don't know. Like, your mind can go there, but different time.
It's no different. I mean, I showed the Japanese bayonet that my grandfather, and I'm using air quotes, you can't see it, acquired.
Right.
When he was in the Navy during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Well, I mean, I guess I could throw him under the bus. He's deceased, but it's one of those in which he wrote up a little thing about, you know, not necessarily how he acquired, but, you know, roughly about when he acquired it and so on and so forth, and where he acquired it from. But, you know, at the same time, yes, it doesn't have any sort of, we'll call it controversial emblems or anything on it, but it's something of that era, that time, and it's historical.
Absolutely.
And, you know, just because you have it doesn't mean anything other than the fact that your grandfather acquired it somehow, shape, form, or fashion.
And, you know, like my 12-year-old was here, and my 13-year-old niece. generated at least like a 5 to 8 minute conversation about what it was like then, how it was an honor to go. He lied about his age to go there, and just he didn't have he had like a 6th grade education, one of 8 kids, and it's just a different era.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
when you had the true patriotism was,
Yep.
Fighting for your country meant something.
Yep. It sparked the conversation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that says something in itself.
They hear Hitler and they're like, wait, so it's interesting to hear what their immediate association with, somebody as evil as that. Wasn't he like just in Germany? You're like, no, it was all, he started like the Norm Macdonald line, right? Have you guys seen that bit about the only country I'm afraid of is the country of Germany? Yeah. They chose to go to war with the world, right?
Yep.
And actually, it was pretty close. Yeah. Shockingly, it wasn't a landslide. Anyways, any pickups lately? You guys have probably already talked about that. My pickups are like in the $12 to $20 range right now.
Well, that was the extent of my one and only for so far this year.
Did you buy that? You buy that upper deck refractor or whatever that was?
No.
Ooh,
that was mine. So my fetish of black printing plates.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like before I owned any or really even saw any, nobody's like the yellow one. It's barely any image on it ever from the ones that I've seen. Like black, if you're going to go for one, black is usually the preferred. Is that a accurate or semi-accurate statement?
Well, I wouldn't say,
unless you're Dave and you want
preferred. I wouldn't say preferred. It's personal preference. Like for me, I prefer the black ones.
Well, for normal people like us, preferred.
That I go for black over any others, but that doesn't mean I won't pick up a magenta, for instance. So
it's fun to say that too. Cyan. I feel like smart when I say it's just blue. It's blue. Come on.
So it's one of those in which that's I will pay more for a black than I will the others because it's my preferred color of printing plate. So
yeah,
I'd love them all. let's be real, but I'm gonna strive for black over any of the others. So,
all right, I have a question because DC and I were talking about this. So, let me just get the card. So I think it's.
Damn it, Robert! Next time, come prepared.
I know.
Jeez.
It's one of the.
And Joe, if you're still here, we will eventually get to your question. I have not forgotten about it.
Anybody know any Rod Strickland fans? I know
not off the top of my head.
Well, anyways, Team Pinnacle baseball, the Kirby Puckett on the front, Gwen on the back. They were defects on both sides, but wasn't there a year? I want to say it was a football year. Like they just had the defects on the front.
95.
Like, come on, what are you doing, Pinnacle? I don't know.
Dufix was still new in that era, though.
All right, I'll cut him some slack.
But yeah, I remember.
I got nothing.
I was trying to. What's the Team Pinnacle? Because I have one. Is it 92? 91 or 92?
The 93s were like the drawings.
That's kind of, but it's kind of Dufexy-ish. Is that a word?
I think 94 would have been the first because 92 and 3 had. If 92 had,
Portraits.
yeah, and then hockey had American pictures. Canadian was more of a artistic layer on the picture.
Reverse.
American was the artistic. Canadian was the photos. But the thing 96, I don't know. I'm picturing them.
This one sort of looked like it had flames in the background. Jeez, I might have taken it upstairs. But anyways, this is a big build-up for Squadouche.
Yeah, but you were talking to DC about it. So what's the premise? What was
That's
the
what it was.
discussion
We were
point?
trying to figure out what the year was that it was not defects on the back. I thought for some reason I remember like a Bledsoe Aikman that maybe Bledsoe was not defects on the back. I feel like he got ripped off. Another one of the pickups was a Tony Gwynn Z team, the ones that we all like.
95.
Yeah. Were the hockey ones harder to get because they're noticeably, a few dollars more? It seems like. Is that just a?
What is it? The 94 5? I think are a bit more expensive.
Yeah, those are such good looking cards.
And again, I don't have, but here's like the baseball.
That's 95, right? Over 94?
Or
Yeah.
and then the rookie team.
Oh, wow. So was it Select that did Dufex first? In like 93 with the they did one with like stars and then young guys too.
It's the
Select. Select. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
the aces, and then they had the stars were the green, like those green one per pack
Yeah.
inserts, but it was like what 25, and I don't know if I've got them in the
I think I got the bonds for that.
pile of excitement.
Yeah, because what was that, 91, 92-ish? That kind of realm for
The 93 for the select update, because Piazza's in the set too, the rookie, all rookie team. Lansing's in there. God, I don't know who else, but Rene Aroka here.
Wait,
what?
you said that's 92?
No, that's 93 there.
Oh.
And then.
Oh, yeah.
From 94 Pinnacle.
Yeah, but Pinnacle ended up really taking it to like the next level.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Select.
Those museum collections, that's a great set.
Talking about the trophy collections?
Yeah, was Trophy
Football,
baseball?
Trophy
yeah,
was
and then,
football.
Museum was baseball.
Ring collection was hockey, right?
Hold on. We got this. This is a great night because we have another person that is joining the show that we talked about earlier. Give me a thumbs up there,
Dr. James Beckett?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to welcome Mr. Stofe to the show as well.
How's it going?
Tilt your camera down a little bit so we don't just see your forehead.
He's still learning. He's a little rusty.
The other way. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we see you.
Yeah.
There he is.
He's looking at his home office.
This isn't I'm at work.
I was going to
Stoke,
say
what
he's
is
at work.
your official job title?
I don't know if I'm at liberty to say.
Oh, okay.
See, we're used to having between 0 and 4 people watching. I don't know how many people are watching. I assume thousands, right?
Uh,
At least. Hey, more than us.
minus 988.
Hey, those are solid numbers.
We're at 12 right now, Mark. We're at 12.
Those are solid numbers. I don't know if you heard, but me and Bob, we ran a stream with 0 viewers. We were on for an hour.
I didn't go into any details, but yeah, it was
Are
pretty,
you sure? Are you sure you were live?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
How much am I allowed to say, Bob?
Yeah, nobody watches this show, so like we'll be all right.
We were not.
Wow, Bob.
Shots fired.
I set on StreamYard, I set it to private, and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it till the next morning. I thought legitimately we had literally 0 viewers, which isn't that far outside the realm of possibilities.
Yeah.
But we kept acknowledging throughout the stream that there was nobody. It's like, wow, we still don't have anyone on. And
We initially set the stream for the Cardboard Podcast channel. After 4 or 5 minutes, he's like, nobody's watching, dude. Maybe we should go to a bigger platform. And so we went to Mark's, and yeah, same thing. Half hour in, just so you know, 0 views, 0 comments. Oh, great. But I had made the statement of like, it's for the archive guys. The guys are gonna watch it later. Gonna at least put the effort in to make it something watchable. And it was tough.
Hey, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. Take it as a learning experience and move on, right?
Carlos, I bet you watch your own streams. You seem like the kind of guy who really, you got like 3 monitors up and you're just like, you got mirrors all over your room. We're not like that, you know.
Yeah, he's legit.
So it is good to see you, Mark.
It's good to see you fellas. How you guys been?
Been good. Been good. We did inform everybody of the cliffhanger or the trailer for you guys.
Oh yeah, the teaser. Man, I had
Yep.
so much fun making that last night. Oh man, it's so stupid. It's so dumb, and it's just I don't know. Me and Bob really get a kick out of stuff like that. Obviously.
Yes.
So now we need to follow it up with the actual content. I don't really know what we're gonna do with that, but
Did you happen to see Henry's comment on the video? Maybe it might have been on my channel, but somebody made a comment of, oh, what the heck was it? Something about a travesty or whatever, but then Henry just went, the only real travesty is we only get 1 video a year from these guys, or something to that effect. Yeah.
oh man,
I just like to give us crap in the comments, which we embrace.
There's nothing quite like a Henry comment. He's got some doozies. I should make a compilation of Henry comments. Nothing though for Henry will ever top my introduction to him as his contest response for me. I think for my 50th subscriber. You know what I'm talking about, Bob, right? With Henry S.
Absolutely. Do something wacky.
Oh man.
I think that might be the only face reveal we ever got from Henry.
That is legitimately one of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life. And it's even funnier now that I know him a little bit better, going back and watching that. I wish I could like put a link in here.
Oh.
He's right. You guys know Henry S, right? You guys all know Henry. Yeah. So do you know? Okay. So you do know the video where he's riding his bike and he's like, oh, like he's going to fall down. Oh man.
Gotta stay on the road. Oh. He's like over dramatizing like just a normal bike ride through the park. It's pretty hilarious.
Carlos has a good suggestion. I mean, that's pretty on brand for us. We should write that one down if we ever took notes.
Yeah, we've had that idea. Carlos gave me this sort of similar idea of like, you should just do a video of all the video ideas that you didn't do.
Dude,
Haven't done.
you talked about doing that like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of the curve. for
Yeah.
sure.
We're gonna, Bob, are you gonna come to the National this year?
I'm staying with these guys above us.
Oh, yes. Dude. Oh man. You guys are going too? Oh man.
Yeah. We're staying further like off site, but
Where?
I don't remember the name of it.
Like
We're
what
actually-
town, you know?
Sheridan.
Find out what town it's in. I'm curious.
I thought it was.
Are we-
Sheridan. Hold on.
You're north of there,
Oh.
right? Steph?
What's up?
Are you you're north of that now, or no?
No, I'm like,
south?
I'm like, you got 2 more directions to guess.
Well, I thought you came down before, and now I think you moved closer
Yeah.
to Chicago. So now I'm like, maybe you're.
Wisconsin is above Illinois, and now I am just west. So I'm like 15 minutes from the National.
Oh wow, dude.
Did it say the town there, Steve?
I think it's Sheridan.
Okay. Yeah.
It's west. It's west of
It'll
there. I
never
think.
be the same after we roll.
Yeah, it's a little over an hour drive to the convention center.
Holy smokes. An hour?
Yeah. Yeah, but listen, the rooms, they're called the presidential lock-off, and they're almost 1,000 square feet.
Holy
So
smokes.
And there's 4, so we have 2 rooms, and there's 4 of us staying. So each person literally has their own room with their own.
Oh,
key
that's
safe.
awesome. That's going to be great.
So,
When are you guys going to be there?
so the plan, at least, so I'm flying into Michigan, and Vinny, myself, and C, who's his daughter, will be driving in Wednesday.
That's day one, right?
It is day 1, but that's when the reservation starts. So, and I know we're supposed to potentially pick up Bob. We're still waiting on what that looks like to pick up Bob. Dave, are you coming in Wednesday or Thursday?
I'm probably gonna be there. Probably go down Tuesday to my brother's in Appleton, and then drive down from there Wednesday morning. So get there Wednesday, and then do the early thing or whatever.
Well, yeah, because check-in's not till 4. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're
So Wednesday.
Yes,
Yeah.
3 of us will be there Wednesday. Bob, I don't know.
Yeah, that's my plan. I like to do the. I've only been to 2. Last year I did the whole day, all 5 days, and that was a blast. So, I don't go to any shows during the year. I want to maximize my show experience in one weekend.
Sweet. I am working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but I get off. I work Wednesday nights, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I should be getting off early afternoon, and I'll probably be sick one of those days. So I'm gonna be going as much as I can. When it's right next door, like I have no excuse.
Yeah.
Especially to meet all you fine fellows in person. Man, what a trip that's gonna be.
Can't wait to see what you guys smell like.
That's all we've been talking about, though, Mark, is the show is really secondary.
It is.
For at least for me. Yes, I'm going to be looking for stuff, but I mean, that's the whole point of going. But it's not the top of my list. It's going and checking out the local cuisine and the food, because like Dave and Vinny, and I'm sure the 2 of you, I like food. My body doesn't show it, but I love food. And to just
Lucky you.
meet all these people that I've talked to and hung out with and got to know, and actually just chill and hang out in person and have a few cocktails and just shoot the shit. That's
Steve,
really.
have you ever been able to connect with somebody on outside of YouTube in the real world?
So shit. I'm not even going to quote the year. I went down to Austin and stayed with Scott 2244 at his house, and then we drove down to Houston and met RBI and Crew 7, and then who else was there? Maya Deb, Steve Camarillo, which he didn't make a whole lot of videos, but he was always on blog.
Yep.
So I have met a few guys, but nothing nothing compared to what the National would be like.
The 2019 National, me and Bob were just talking about this. The 2019 National, dude, like, it was, I had no idea what to expect, because it's like, man, I'm going to meet all these people, but, maybe it's going to be weird. What up, Ed? It's going to be, that's an inside joke to the last National in Chicago. He kept calling it Portobello's. I don't know if you guys have heard of Portillo's, but I went to Portillo's with Ed, but he kept calling it Portobello's. But I had no idea what it was going to be like. I kind of expected it to be like kind of awkward meeting people in person, and it was not at all. It was not. It's like if we were all in a room just suddenly right now, it would be just like this is. It would not be awkward at all. Man.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that's kind of how I felt going down to Austin. I mean, I had talked to Scott for well over a year. And it was one of those, he opened his house and was like, "Hey dude, come down. Let's go to Houston. You can crash at my house." And nervous the whole way down the 4-hour drive to Austin from my house. But after knocking on the door and him answering the door, it was like freaking we had been friends for freaking 20 years.
Yeah.
It's freaking wild, shake of the hand, a freaking bro hug, and just immediate, like, easy conversation. The trip down to Houston for the show was the same. Having conversations with Ryan and Neil. I mean, it just, like you said, it's one of those in which when you've interacted with people for so long and you know so much about each other, it's like you're running into your long lost brother or your long lost friend that you haven't seen in 15 years for whatever reason, but yet it's like nothing's changed. So
I remember at that 2019 National, I invited Bob to stay in the room with me and my buddy, little PP69, and I mentioned this to my wife, and she's like, "Wait, you're gonna stay? You invited this internet person to stay in your room, this stranger?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, but it's like Bob Lewis. I mean, come on."
I mean, I've been watching his videos for like 3 months now. I mean,
I've talked to him on the phone like twice. I mean, I think I straight up asked you if you were gonna murder me, and you said no.
Yeah. Well, I did that video of like who is Bob Lewis, so that should have given.
And despite that video, I still decided to let you stay with me, dude. And me, you, and Tyler. Tyler doesn't make videos, but man, was that fun just watching those. What was that?
We went down a little rabbit hole at back in the hotel and just like belly laugh after belly laugh.
Book of Festus Kyle. You know that channel? You guys know that channel? Oh man.
Introduced.
We were weeping. We were laughing so hard.
So good.
I can't wait.
That was fun. Wasn't there like a horror fest in town too, or something? So you saw these like people walking around with like fake stab wounds and like lots of black leather.
The hype man was wearing the Michael Myers mask. So how early is it to start putting out national videos, like tips and tricks? Wear comfortable shoes.
Budgets. We got to talk budgets. So hopefully,
don't forget to bring snacks. Hey, here's one I've never heard anyone say this. Write down the booth number if you see something you like, because you will forget it. You think you won't, but you will forget it.
Have cash too, because
Dave's
you might
making
not
notes
have.
because Dave's making notes because we'll have the tips and tricks for the national at some point.
You know what? Don't be afraid to offer the dealer a price. You'd be surprised how much they're willing to negotiate.
Have all your autographs already pre-signed, just ready to hand out, because it's gonna take a lot of time. Somebody sees, they come up to me and they say, "Bob Lewis, can I have your autograph?" And then people kind of notice what's going on, and then before you know it, you get a huge crowd. So when that happens, you just can sort of like boom, 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 hand them all out instead of making people line up. So.
That must be a Hall of Fame thing because I don't see that happening for me.
No, it's a Bob Lewis thing. I'll tell you that. I can personally guarantee it's not a Hall of Fame thing.
I can't believe they carried me out on their shoulders after day one. It was pretty incredible.
When I went to the National 2 years ago, Bob wasn't there. Every single person that I met was like, "Hey, where's Bob?" Like, well, Bob's not here, but I am. Oh, too bad Bob couldn't come, huh? Well, see you later.
They all asked me where Mark was too, so
Nobody asked you where I was. Not a single person asked you.
Yeah, they were actually talking about a different Mark. So
yeah, exactly. Isn't Foo Mark? That's who they were talking about.
I said the Hitler video guy or the 52 Mano guy, and they were like the 52 Mano guy. Okay.
Yeah.
What
So,
are the
yeah,
rules on
so-
emotional safety dogs to bring?
Not a lot at the resort. Sorry, unless they're a service dog.
You want to be a service dog and drive everybody?
Sorry,
nuts?
Vinny, you're screwed. You're screwed. Especially if we bring Mark back with us and he crashes out at the
I'm coming.
at the resort
I'm coming.
with us. Hey,
I'm
there's
coming. If I kick
there's a pull-out sofa. You won't get a bed, but there's a pull-out sofa. It's Suite 6.
I just need a little spot on the floor.
We'll get you better than that. You can at least pass out on the couch or pull it out. You at least have it. You'll be able to stay off the floor.
We should do a crossover episode live. That's what we should do.
We could do it because, like I said, the four of us are. I don't know where the rooms are when we check. Like, I'm going to wait until it's a little bit closer and see if I can suggest and recommend that our rooms are like right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not having to go up the hall type shit to go hang out in each place or crawl for that matter.
Just mention my name. They should accommodate.
Bob, I hate to break it to you. You're small potatoes in their eyes.
I really think this is the year that I get noticed, though, for sure.
And this year is any different than the past year? Because aren't you always noticed?
I mean, like.
He means like a stranger being like, "Are you Bob Lewis?"
Yes.
That's your dream.
It's Bob, we can make that happen.
Yeah. Like, I purposely wear some T-shirts with obscure references just in hopes of one day somebody sees it and is like, "Dude." Yeah. Doesn't happen. So
it's going to happen this year. It's going to happen.
Of course, as Carlos states, noticed by the authorities.
Yeah.
He's wanted in 3 states.
Taking off my work slippers.
Oh. It's getting personal.
Yeah. It's a little candid, voyeuristic look.
A day in the life of Stove.
I appreciate that, Joey.
Oh, let's not go there, Ed. Let's not say it's a Chicago national tradition that 3 to 5 people get arrested. We've already talked about making sure that we have, a bail fund, and I'm trying to avoid the potential of that becoming a reality for anybody that's here on this panel. And we just lost Mark.
That means somebody
Hopefully-
came into the locker room. He didn't want to look weirder than he usually does at work.
He's probably connected to Wi-Fi, and then there he is. He's back. Hold on, let me get him back in here. There
Sorry
he is.
about that.
No worries. And then of course Bob goes off video as
I'm
Mark
here.
comes back.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, well, we do that too sometimes.
But that's the fun of the Nationals. Basically, a high school reunion a lot of the times with people we've never met. But again, you've had interaction that you do feel comfortable. So I know that the first 2 years I went 08 and 09, it was all meeting people from like the Beckett message board that I'd known again for 7, 8, 9 years on there. And then in 11, that was the first year with YouTube, knowing all the YouTube people. So that's I think the only, and again, this isn't puffing chest. This isn't like, oh, I know a lot of people. That's going to be the trouble for me. I do know a lot of folks over the years, collector-wise, because again, when the hobby started in 2018, I was there on the second day, not the first. So I mean, that's a whole like 4+ years of knowing people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, but your math isn't adding up. I thought YouTube sports card stuff kicked off in 2019. Something's adding up here.
The hobby started in 2018. YouTube was 2019.
Oh, that's right.
YouTube started up about November of 2018. So I mean, it took about 2 weeks to get going. So,
Yes, Ed, I'm glad that I did not buy that card. Carlos had a good point earlier. I didn't kind of in and out of it, but I'm gonna hop off Wi-Fi here, so I might drop off for a second. But he was referring to confrontation parentheses for you, Dave. Are you gonna have any confrontation?
I hope not, but we'll see. We'll see how the wind blows.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Yeah, so were you, Mark. Can you hear us now, Mark?
Yes. I missed your entire answer though.
All right, go ahead, Dave.
I said how the wind blows. It's going to depend on that because again, if somebody comes up to me and their clothes or their team medium clothes or pick a fight, well, but I'm not going to go up to people and like start strong arming people and hey, fuck you, that refractor's mine. No, you start saying shit that Steve had said earlier. If I hear a group of people just being dumb and talking stupidity, I'm sorry, the grammar police and the fucking dictionary world is coming out in the encyclopedia and the thesaurus because I'm not going to listen to just idiocy. I get to do that at work. I don't really want to do it at a card show, so I will.
What I'm most looking forward to is somebody mistakenly seeing Mark and thinking he's one of the sports card radio brothers.
He should wear a shirt, sports card radio.
There he is.
Fuck him. And he's gone. That was enough. He said enough. That's enough. That's the line has been crossed.
Yeah, so he kind of touched on it. We did an hour stream thinking we just know, we had fallen out of favor, which wouldn't really shock us.
Until like Hobby Palooza comes around and hey, you guys got Time for an hour?
That's
The
right.
one time certain folks will talk. Hey, come on.
Speaking of the peasant, we have 13 viewers. Let's make Eric pay. Let's make the peasant pay. Hit that thumbs up. We had Mark and Bob on the show at the same time. That says something.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for months.
Robbing your trunks.
Huh.
Eating your food, preferably buns.
So, a real random, right before you just said robbing your trunks, and maybe think of I saw a YouTube short of a guy literally showing you how to steal a Kia with a flathead screwdriver, and he was really stealing it because you could just tell he didn't care about the car. I mean, can they show? It had like 175,000 views. I'm like, that can't be a good thing to have on the internet, you know? But what do I know?
And yet, Alex gets his stream shut down for streaming a game from the 1953 World Series.
Yes.
Speaking of stealing Kias, as Mark is driving away.
Yeah. Hey, I got to do what I got to do.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Hey,
Another day.
Are you off from work, or are you like on your lunch break?
I'm done. I'm done for the night.
Oh, nice.
Good deal.
Figured I'd head out a little early. I deserve it. Didn't kill anyone today. It's good. It's a good day.
That's always a good thing, Mark.
It is.
Let's keep it that way.
The pilots
Yeah,
are
it's
in the
probably good
arms
you
of
guys are all
danger.
driving with the net.
Play some Ice Cube.
None of you guys are flying, right?
Not yet.
Right? No one's flying in.
Oh, flying in? I thought you said no one's blind. I said no. It was
No,
a
I
strange
think-
question, but I considered the source.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, fair.
Yeah,
I'm
Mr.
not
Country.
flying into Chicago. I'm flying into Michigan because I'll.
That's good. You'll be safe for me.
Are you at O'Hare?
I work at the radar approach control for O'Hare and Midway, but I'm not based at O'Hare. I'm like 45 minutes west of Chicago.
Probably better for traffic.
Well, that'll match up with us then, because we're about an hour west of Chicago.
Dude, that is an excellent point. Tentatively speaking, Wednesday night, because I work late, I can just go over there, have a couple beers with you guys. I'll get off of work at like 9 o'clock. If you guys are still awake, of course.
I'm sure we will be.
Yeah.
I don't see a whole lot of sleep taking place the entire time we're there, honestly.
Yeah, dude. It's like Vegas. Like, you just don't sleep. The National.
No.
That's why you bring comfy shoes.
Yes. Did we talk about the tip of don't buy the first card that you like that you see? Because I've never really heard anyone talk about that either. You should wait. Don't jump at the opportunity. Unless it's rare, then don't assume you're going to see it again.
And if you're not sure if it's rare, we know people that you could ask.
If you're not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Oh, here's a real good national tip. Do not comment on Bob's height to Bob. It gets weird. And
We already know he's tall.
Yeah, I know, but don't be like, wow, I heard you were tall, but I wasn't expecting you to be this tall. And also keep your eye contact with Bob to a minimum. I learned that the hard way. It starts getting weird after like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't give up after 2 seconds. I continue to stare. So
He
Dave,
asserts
will
his
you
dominance.
share those notes later?
I will.
Thank
we'll
you.
post them in the Discord.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
the one in
I like to
09.
make awkward situations more awkward. So it's kind of my thing. Go ahead, Dave.
Going on bad. The one in 09 we had, I think there might have been like 8 or 9 of us that were like football guys from the board that stayed in 2 rooms, and it was great, but it was fucking brutal for sleep. We were up, and I've mentioned this before. Elon, the Pistons fan, one of Tyson's good buddies out there, Tyson NZ, Ben, former blog YouTube dude, stayed with us. He had a box of and again I think it's 08, and it could be 09. The draft, the Upper Deck draft, and we busted it open. And again, it's like, oh well, whatever. You get some shitbag auto, a couple autos, and then later on, I'm like, and again, this is like fucking 4 a.m. He's got his special herbs that he's partaking in. I'm like, hey, you got a Mike Hart 101 here. And he's like, no fucking way. Yeah. And again, after that, I think I just passed out like at the end of the bed on the floor under the covers that were like tumbling off the bed. And I think that I was woken up by somebody stumbling into the room, like kicked me because they didn't see me. And that's like 8 a.m. And I'm like, is it like 11 or 12? He's like, no, it's like 8. We got to get ready for the show. I'm like, what show? Like
Where am I?
the card show. I'm like, oh fuck, that's no. I wish it was like 11 because this fucking tired. So, and then we went out to Dave and Buster's the one night. We had to go back deep in the innards of Cleveland, and we saw a bike propped up against a cop car that had the door open and nobody was around. So, what the hell's going on here? And then I think we went to a convenience mart or whatever, and somebody was air juggling kitty corner across the street. And I'm like, we aren't in like the safe part of the world right now.
Well,
We gotta get to our destination because this is Twilight Zone shit here. I don't want to be wrapped in nonsense. We're not going to be able to get out of. So I mean, that's the stuff that when you go to national, you don't expect, but when it happens, it's like those are the fucking tits memories that you love. It's like that stuff will resonate more than any card you fucking looked at or bought.
like the back kitchen help at a local pizza joint in Atlantic City comes outside, just kind of moseying where some of us were hanging, and proceeded to ask me if I knew of any trustworthy meth dealers in the area. So
Trustworthy? No, but I do know some.
right.
That story never gets old.
I couldn't believe it. The guy, I mean, he was, I don't know, this maybe he needs some help, but yeah, I wasn't the guy. I told him I'd be on the lookout though. But so the one day I did sleep in, and our place was a little bit of ways, but you could still walk to the show. And I chose to do that one day. And so on the route, you just kind of stop at a corner store. Yeah, it was clearly getting some double takes of like, well, I'm not sure this is your store, buddy. But no incidents, thankfully.
Who did you stay with last year, Bob?
Those were the Misfits gang. Mangini, Rick Oddball Cards, James Elite Hunters, Don Field of Dreams Cards, Lou Rock TV, and George Diamond Yard Sports Cards.
Nice. It's a good crew.
Yeah, they're good dudes. I mean, we had a great time. We kind of had the little house deal.
What's up, Eric?
Yeah, what like a not Airbnb, but just kind of a what do they call it?
VRBO, whatever.
It was like a house, yeah, like you would do on the beach or so. You got a big group.
Yep.
Everybody throws in, and yeah, it was a good time.
Did Mangini bring his nunchucks?
No, because he was getting enough crap from all of us already. So yeah, we told him to leave him at home, not try to show us up.
How was he about being made fun of when you were giving him crap? How did he respond? Was he like scary?
No, he can roll with it. He dishes it out as much as he can take it.
Just curious.
Yeah, he's on the level. Yeah, we're excited about some things we got cooking, and it should be enjoyable for everybody. Like I
Well,
said,
definitely not for everybody. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's at least one person in the community without a broad sense of humor, but that's okay. They wouldn't probably watch us anyways. People that watch know what they're getting, and it ain't much.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I'm trying to read the comments, but I don't want to crash. Eric, are you still here, Eric?
Hey, Mark, just FYI, it is so the resort we're staying at is in Sheridan, Illinois.
Sheridan. All right. I don't know where that is.
Well, so I'll give you some details. So my next door neighbor has a timeshare through Holiday Inn Express. So these rooms they're costing the rest of the crew nothing. I've picked up the tab. That ought to tell you how cheap it was for 2 rooms.
Because he's cheap. We know this.
I am cheap. Not you, not you, Eric. The other Eric.
Frugal.
4-leaf cards, Eric.
Frugal.
No, I'm cheap.
Okay.
I'm cheap. I am cheap.
Who's the Sixers jersey, Dave?
The answer.
The answer is in the question.
Is 4-leaf card still here? Eric, you still here? I got a question for you.
Yes,
Yes,
he
he's here.
is still here.
Did he responded yes?
He said there's only 1,000 Erics in the hobby because Sanderson, who's also
that's
Eric,
true.
asked
It's also
if you
kind of, so I'm going to conduct my personal business on the stream. I hope you don't mind. So I won a box of soccer cards. I'm not going to name the group on which I won the cards, but I don't know anything about soccer, but I got this autograph of someone I'd never heard of. I didn't think he's a small time deal, but Eric's like, I'll buy that card for $5. And I was like, sure. And he PayPal'd me $5. That was like so long ago. So he paid me, but I still haven't sent it out. And I just want to find this box of soccer cards today because I want to print off the label and send it out. And I was looking through and I forgot that I had hit a superfractor, which is pretty cool. Even soccer of a player you've never heard of, like one of ones, that's pretty neat, you know. So I got to get you something else besides that autograph card. Would you rather have that superfractor card or something else? That's the end of my business. I just wanted to get an answer on that. I saw his logo on the bottom, and I didn't want to miss this opportunity.
Glad we could provide the platform.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
The price of postage has gone up 3 times since Stove was originally supposed to mail that out.
That's what I get. That's what I get.
So who you voting for the Hall of Fame this year, Mark?
Yeah, Mark,
I don't
Hall of Fame
know.
voting is open.
I have to watch videos before I vote for people.
No, you just vote for your friends, dude.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
Or
Come
Jab,
on, Mark.
Packers
Jeez.
cards.
I don't know.
Eric says whatever, dude. I just love the story we're making.
It almost took as long for Eric to pull a Wander Franco. I think that was only like 5 months.
All right. Whatever, dude. Can't really hear because I'm driving. Is that a whatever, dude? Like whatever, dude, or whatever, dude?
No, in other words, he doesn't care because you offered the 101 superfractor, or if he wanted, and so it's like, dude,
Yeah. If he
basically
wanted
whatever
to
you want to
if
do.
if he wanted to be sassy, he would have said what evs. You know?
Yeah, that's no. I feel like whatevs. It's like whatever, but
What
whatever,
evs, man?
dude.
No, it wasn't that type of whatever, dude.
I know. I'm just joking. Eric, are you going? Can we just have the stream be me talking to Eric? Let me know what he says.
Dude, you got to be moved up to the top left if that's the case. And nobody takes Dave's corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Nobody backs me out of the corner. Nobody.
Where you
How
at,
many
Mark?
votes is SCR getting? What's the over under going to be? 7.5.
I'm at the gas station.
Eric, so
The
Mark is
national.
asking if you're going to national.
The big show.
He probably only goes to the ones that are close.
No, you don't have to leave. That's not what anybody's saying.
No, he said
I'll be
he's
in
gonna
Chicago
head
in
over
12
to the
hours.
national now.
Oh,
That's how I read it. Yeah, that's the stream now. It's gonna be me talking to Eric and then all of you interpreting what he means by it.
or you for that matter.
Yeah,
There you go.
I think I already have my VIP at. Nice. I'll be right back. You guys want anything from the gas station?
Yeah, I need a pack of smokes, Mark.
All right.
Breakfast burrito.
Better fries.
Maybe you shouldn't have asked, right?
I'll get
There
them
goes
6 months later at the show.
Yeah, right.
Hey, and there's anything wrong with that?
I'll take cheddar fries. Andy's cheddar fries are good.
Yes, they are.
And I'll probably need a pack of smokes at national.
Yeah,
So,
you probably will.
Joey needs a slushy. I know about the roller wieners. So that's
car chair. Yep, the universe is expanding.
and steering wheel. That's getting some pub in there too.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true. This is true. And Bob, just I don't know if you're still smoking on occasion, but we can smoke on the balcony.
Oh, nice.
So,
And yeah, I am.
can't smoke in the rooms, but we can smoke on the balcony.
We just got to keep C hyped up on like fruit by the foot and pixie sticks. It should be awesome.
Chocolate sticks. No, we
She can't eat. She doesn't eat chocolate.
well but we still got to have chocolate sticks, in memorandum of Eric and not
Oh,
being there.
if he's providing, then he can bring them. But
Chocolate sticks?
Yeah, that
long story.
somebody
short.
else will have to explain.
Dave.
It sounds like a fancy way of saying something dirty.
I'm
And we
out
got to
of-
mention of portobellos again.
Minnie,
That's a
I
mushroom,
travel
Ed.
everywhere
That
with
is a
lot of
mushroom.
candy, so we should be good. Yeah, portobello's a mushroom.
They just
Your
build
hands
the
weren't full.
portillos. Good.
Your hands weren't full enough for the stuff that we all requested, Mark. What are you doing?
I got it. I got it all right here. I'll give it to you at the national.
I'm not seeing a slushy. I'm not seeing a hot dog. I'm not.
I got it all. Grab me a
Okay.
hot dog and a chocolate cake shake from Portobello's. You know, we really should do like a big dinner night.
Oh yeah.
That's on the agenda for sure.
Might
That is
go to-
definitely on the agenda.
Go out and get some good Chicago pizza, not the tourist stuff.
Where did we go, Mark? Was that
What did
Portillo's?
we eat? What was it? Was it a hot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, Portobello's.
Yeah. They just built one by me, Stove.
Really?
Yeah.
Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, bought it. bought it like 5 or 6 years ago, you're gonna see that place all over the country, which is
Yep.
kind of sad. Like I grew up eating that stuff, and it was like just a local thing. But I mean, it's really good.
Yeah,
So
I used to I used to go to Chicago every 2 weeks outside of Chicago for almost a year and a half. So
yeah.
we went there probably once or twice a week
Oh
because you
man,
could have something different. And there's another place, Home Run Inn. What are your thoughts of Home Run Inn?
I grew up on that stuff, man. Home
Thin
Run In,
crust, Chicago style.
Home Run In. So they have restaurants, but I grew up on the frozen pizza,
Yep,
and
they have
I
that too here.
finally went to the actual restaurant, and that's some of my favorite pizza for sure.
It's good.
I love Home Run In pizza.
Hey, Vinny, did you hear the news about what department store is coming back to the Berg?
No, I did not.
Ames.
No kidding.
Yeah, kind of weird.
If Heels came back, it would be awesome.
Yeah, that's the story that I'm waiting for sure. The hot dog and slushy and popcorn out front.
Yeah, and the Bavarian pretzels.
Oh yeah, that's a weird thing. Ames.
Interesting. Well,
So,
I told you we're getting
sorry,
we're
didn't mean-
getting Gabriel Brothers here, so
Nice.
the world is expanding. Go ahead, Stove.
Sorry, man. It's kind of hard to hear. I was just curious, as far as the national, are you guys going quality or quantity?
Quality.
You mean with the people we hang out with, or
Well, then it's quantity.
No, still quality.
Still quality. But there is a plentiful amount of quality dudes in the community, so it's a little bit of both.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, I'll answer for me. I never go in with a plan, like a want list. I know my guys that I'll look for, but like to think all my funds or whatever are going to go to like one big purchase, it would have to be something spectacular for that to like happen. Some rare shack insert, it's going to cost me a lot. But I'm usually hitting the dollar boxes and stuff, so I don't actually bring home a lot. I mean, I think last year I had like 24 cards or something like that, all in top loader, so nothing even that big. But
I think like 2 years ago, I bought like 4 cards. The most I spent on a card was $20, but I didn't care because I was just seeing everybody. It didn't matter.
I do. So by the end of the show, the last time in Atlantic City, definitely like Moss cards and Shack cards that I saw day 1, day 2 that I didn't 4 and 5. So if you do see something that you want to go after, that's going to be something that isn't often seen. Might as well get a jump on it. Wow, wow, wow. Vinny, what's Vinny shopping for?
No idea. See what they have. My list is getting smaller and smaller. I went through a box today, shredded a bunch of paper, trying to clean up the office. Organization is number one. Yes, better half. Organization is number one. So, okay then. And then I was going through all my boxes, trying to organize those. So I'm going through Tops, Bowman, and OPG stuff right now and putting them back all organized on a shelving system. So by the National, I hope to have a physical count of cards and what I need, have it all written out, and then just go off the list.
And this is
I
just
don't know.
your focus on Lemieux.
Well, Lemieux, the
And-
Malkin, Stamkos, Sagan, Braden Point. I got a bunch of side PCs. And then I'd like to maybe get a Lambert auto if I could find one cheap.
Adam?
No, that would be Jack.
Christopher.
But I need a Van Slyke relic too. I got the auto thanks to Cardboard Underground. Huh? That'll be by July. It'll be organized by then. Ooh, I just got the death stare. So it has to be organized by July.
Get on it.
Yep, up on it. Get amongst
As soon
it,
as I
as
get
would say.
organized, I buy more crap that I have to then organize again.
Once I'm organized this time, it's gonna be processed and the same day goes into the thing. It's gonna be I'm gonna have everything in a spreadsheet, everything's gonna be organized. If I buy something, it's gonna be cataloged. It's gonna be better. I'm working on that now.
I need
And
to
the better
utilize
half just sits here and laughs at me.
I've tried to create my own spreadsheets before, but somebody said, why don't you just use, trading card database? But I have been not burnt, but like you use some of those free softwares out there, and then you go to log in and the website's gone, and there was no way to like upload my list somewhere. So, but trading card database seems to be here for the long haul.
Or Beckett. Just throwing that out there.
How dare you?
got a spreadsheet going. Every card I've purchased since I got back in the hobby, I put on a Google Doc spreadsheet, but it's a lot easier when you buy like 3 cards a year to do it that way.
We should do a deep dive on that list and,
Yeah,
grade you.
that's one of your worst ideas, Bob. No offense.
Just break out the box of pain again.
Yeah, the box of pain. Don't give anything away.
Oh no.
We're the only 2 people on Earth that know about that.
It's true.
Not anymore. We don't know the specifics, but we know of it now.
Yes. So something involving a box of pain. It could mean so many things.
My
Yeah.
Josh
Yes,
question?
that's exactly what I was alluding to.
Dave, is that like Pandora's box?
Could be,
Worse.
which is right next to the money tree.
Imagine a box full of
Josh Johnson cards.
no, not quite. I like a box. Like I would say the average card would be like a Victor Robles, Topps Chrome Refractor, and a 10. Just a whole box of cards like that.
Max Kepler.
Max Kepler. Like it's like, I don't know, 50 or 60 graded cards, and like you kind of forget what you have. But unfortunately, I dug through there on this live stream the other night because we learned that it's very hard to do these streams if you have no engagement. You know what I mean?
No.
We've
I
done
have no idea what that would be like.
We've done podcasts before, but like we go into it like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about type of thing. But when we did the stream, like we ran out of gas so fast. It's just getting worse and worse. Then next thing you know, I'm just pulling each card out of this box, and there's this box.
There's multiple deep sighs involved.
No, Mark, to answer your question, at least from I already answered it, but I'm looking more quality because I'm looking for extremely rare stuff for
Yeah.
for my main PC. And
Yeah.
on the flip side, there's two guys. Well, there's actually three guys. Because Bob, I know, still has a stack of stuff that he's been sitting back for a while. But there's three guys on this on the screen here. Well, two and one that's dark that I need to hit back. So that's going to be an also big focal point from my perspective. So, and what better than going to national to meet these guys for the first time to repay the favor in person? I just think that's kind of cool.
It's going to be such a good time.
So,
what are the dates?
What is it? The 20.
30th?
What was it, Dave?
26th through the 30th.
Okay.
It's like it's literally the worst. It's the worst time of the year for work. Like the worst weekend of the year, and it's every single year. It's the same time. It's so annoying.
Well, it could always be worse, Mark. Got to try and find a positive somehow.
Well, no, I mean there's tons of positives. Just the scheduling is a negative. I can't. It's the one time a year that you can't get off. You cannot get leave on that weekend. It's like impossible. It sucks. Otherwise, I would take all the days off of work. But the nice thing is now that I'm working in Chicago, I can at least go on the days I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it.
I got something cool I just found out the other day. Not after hearing those dates, the dude figured out that I think the Tigers are coming to Pittsburgh for some interleague play like that, August 1st or August 2nd or something like that. So we're gonna go check out. Hopefully my boys playing, but we'll see.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I know there's usually gangs that go to try to get to a Cubs game or something while they're at the National. I've never done that.
Well, we've talked about it, but it's one of those in which if it happens, great. If it doesn't,
Yeah,
it's not gonna completely ruin the experience.
No.
sure.
So
I haven't been to too many other ballparks. I know there's got like, I always thought it was cool that there was a father-son that went to our old church that like they kind of like made it on purpose. That was like something that they did, try to get to as many ballparks as possible.
I'd like to go to Wrigley,
Yeah,
most definitely. But like I said, we've talked about it. If the opportunity presents itself, great. And if we can take advantage of it, fantastic. But like I said, it's not going to ruin the experience if it doesn't happen. My thing is I would prefer not to have a plan because, it's one of those in which you got to be a little nimble, so to speak, in the event that if something happens, you want to be able to react accordingly. You don't want to have set expectations of where you're set to do something. And if something bigger and better comes along, you're kind of hosed. So I'm a firm believer in the no plan. We'll just play everything by ear and figure it out.
go with the flow.
Exactly. So, Dave, we're actually past the 2-hour mark. Of course, I don't know if Joe's still hanging or not. But do we want to touch real quick on the playoffs and then wrap it up, and we'll just sit and chill for a bit while Mark continues to drive home?
Yeah, we can. Again, we're football guys. That playoffs are going on.
I want the Bills to win.
Okay, Mark has spoken.
I too want the Bills to win. I have family
Your-
in Orchard Park. That's the only
Your
reason.
vote doesn't count, Bob. Your vote doesn't
They're
count.
not underdogs, but man, can you imagine being in your 40s and being a Bills fan, like what you've gone through? You know, you're a kid and you see your team lose 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Oof.
Like that fan base, they deserve it, man.
So
Yeah.
the city of Buffalo is the underdog.
What?
The city of Buffalo is the actual underdog, not the team.
Yes, that's true.
They're
They
sort of like they're like the Green Bay of the AFC. Like the size. You don't think of
Yeah.
okay, Chicago, LA, wherever, New York City. It's like you think Buffalo has an NFL? Green Bay? And you go to Green Bay and you're like, really? They've got a team? I mean, you might as well put.
it's pretty bizarre that they have a team.
Mhm.
And
Why?
like I got to go when I traveled to Wisconsin last year. It is literally like in the neighborhood, you know, like houses that I look like they're across the street, or there's a stadium across the street from them. It's pretty wild.
And then me and Bob met up for a beer. In do you guys ever watch that Making a Murderer show on Netflix?
I haven't
Montauk
watched it,
or
but I know of it.
Montauk?
Me and Bob grabbed a beer in that town, Manitowoc.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember that? Wasn't there was a guy? There was like 2 old timers just playing the hits.
Yeah.
Doing some live music. They definitely had some like groupie girls there for sure.
They did, and it was like incredibly loud. And me and Bob were like talking about cards and stuff. It was a real surreal environment, and that's like my favorite. When it's like, what is going on right now? That's like my jam right there.
Yes.
But Chargers, when they got up 27-0, Trish was like, "Oh, aren't you excited?" I said, "Nope. I know what's going to happen. I've seen this play run before." And then they got the touchdown at the end of the first half, and I'm like, "It begins. It begins." And then Trevor Lawrence looked like one of us out there and quarterback in the first quarter, and then he looked like Joe Montana on basically the end of the first half and then the rest of the game. So again, that their offensive coordinator got fired today. I was hoping to be the coach because he's a dimwit.
He may be next, though, Dave. There's speculation.
Well, I know they've talked about Sean Payton a ton, and that would be the perfect landing spot for somebody of his ilk. But
If they want to give up a first-round pick.
I know. I'm sure they would. San Fran, they look like
Who's
a buzz.
Who's that rookie on San Francisco? What's his name?
Brock Purdy.
What's his hobby look like? His hobby status?
Very high right now.
Yeah.
Considering he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, it's
So-
pretty wild.
So his
Like that's gonna be like okay. So I'm not saying he's gonna end up having like some Hall of Fame career or anything, but how Brady's always like this. He was a 6th round pick. You know, Brock Purdy's. He was the officially last pick in the draft. Like, so expectations are pretty low.
Mhm.
Yeah, his low number graded autograph stuff is up there in the upper thousands.
Wow,
So,
it's crazy.
but yeah, that kid has the issue for San Francisco is though now what do? You drafted Trey Lance not too long ago. He's supposed to be the future of your team. You kept Garoppolo as a safety net, and you've got Mr. Irrelevant coming in 6-0 as a starter. The first rookie or whatever to throw X amount of yards and touchdowns and win it. I mean, it's like if you're San Francisco, you're kind of in a between a rock and a hard place when it comes to what you're going to end up doing at quarterback.
That's a good problem, though.
It is. I'm not saying it isn't. It's one of those you're like makes you wonder exactly what next season's going to look like for them.
Yeah.
So
Giants beating the Vikings. I knew that would happen. The Vikings defense has been a sieve pretty much all year, and they don't ever react to what the other team does. And by the time they do, it's usually too late.
And
So
I feel like their win-loss record was greatly inflated by their division, too.
that and just luck. Your luck here and there. Lucky bounces. Your kicker kicks a 61-yarder who hadn't kicked longer than like a 53 in his career. Again, you burned up all your regular.
I want to say they had a negative point differential this season going into the playoffs.
Yeah, which is insane.
That's wild.
They had what? They were 11 0 in the one score games, and it's like you can't do that and expect to get to the title game, the Super Bowl. You can't, even the NFC title. I mean, people up there were just like a lot have started to come around. Like, well, this you haven't done anything. You've beaten these teams, but it hasn't been in a matter of like, okay, we can put our faith behind you. But I was happy to see that. And again, I won't mention any names that said watch for the Giants and watch for the Lions, and maybe an NFL preview show on a specific podcast that airs Tuesday nights at 7:35 ish Central Standard Time. I'm glad the Giants are doing well. I don't necessarily like them as much as I did with Kerry Collins there, but the NFL does. NFL has to like when your big markets are doing well, and that's always going to be the case no matter what happens. The game last night, I love seeing that result because Brady looked lost. He looked like he didn't have a clue.
if you think about it, every game, regardless of upset outcome, all the games Saturday and Sunday were fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know, until San Francisco broke it open in the second half against Seattle, you know, the games were enjoyable. It came down to the wire in certain situations. The game last night, and of course, it's about the only time I will root for Dallas. It's because I'm sick and tired of Tom Brady. But
Are you just
Dallas
saying that because Bob's not here anymore?
Oh, I'm always watching.
I am tired of Tom Brady. I am tired of hearing about him. I'm tired of all the GOAT status, all this other. I'm sick and tired of it. So I rooted for Dallas, and it was fun to watch Dallas literally whoop the shit out of them. That was a complete and utter ass whooping. So what they do later on is left to be seen. But if Dallas plays to the caliber that they can, they have a chance. But the fact that we have 3 NFC East teams still in the divisional round, that's unusual.
Hey, fellas, I'm home. Thanks for letting me hang out. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, Mark. It's good to see you, my friend.
Thank
I'll
you.
catch you later, fellas.
All right, take it easy, buddy. But yeah, the games were fantastic. And I watched very little football this year, just because my team sucked ass. But you know, playoff football is a different time. It's no different. It's like playoff hockey, and no, I'm not putting them in the same level because playoff hockey is in its own realm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still the same idea. Playoff football, the whole thing, any given Sunday really comes to light in situations, and you saw teams come back that shouldn't have won, maybe, and other times in which the better team ended up pulling it out. So those are the kind of games that I enjoy. I have no skin in the game this year whatsoever. I don't give two shits, but I will offer my same support as Bob and Mark did. I am rooting for Buffalo. I like Josh Allen, and it's one of those in which with the Hamlin situation, that would just be huge. And that's what they're playing for. So I can't root against Buffalo. And Buffalo should have been there last year.
Yep.
Which is why they changed the rules. Because Buffalo should have been there.
Yeah.
So, or what they still would have had to play another game, but still, they should have been one step closer than what they were. So, I like Buffalo. I'm rooting for Buffalo. As Bob said, the city of Buffalo. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how things align on the NFC side because San Francisco looks really freaking good, man.
Mm-hmm.
They look really freaking good.
I heard an interesting stat today regarding San Francisco. Teams that played San Francisco, whether they won or lost the week that they played San Francisco, every one of those teams went 0-15 the following week. So the guy was just trying to make the point of you play San Francisco, you're getting beat up. Because that's sort of how they're coming at you this year. I didn't watch one San Francisco game. I just kept hearing about Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
But Christian McCaffrey definitely caught my eye there. I don't know what he's doing out there, but
he's doing well.
They seem to be getting more involved in the discussion as legit
he's
contenders.
Well, and their defense is pretty stout.
Yep.
So, so what's the matchups going into this weekend? Who's
KC
playing
and
who?
Jacksonville, Bengals, and
Buffalo.
Giants
then
go to Philly. Dallas goes
Giants-
out to San Fran.
Man,
And
wow.
before the playoffs started, I mean the postseason started. I was like, okay, I'm picking Buffalo, San Fran. That just looks like the matchup of the two teams that right now have the most complete special teams, defense, offense, coaching. I would love to see Jacksonville beat Buffalo or Kansas City and play Buffalo because I still remember as a thorn in Steve's side when Jacksonville went up to Buffalo during their run, the AFC title game in year 3. That was the first step, going to Buffalo, and I'm like, okay. Natron's had pretty much a shitbag year, nothing really going on. He's finally healthy though, and then he tore apart Buffalo. So I mean, it just because I don't ever like anything else nostalgia-wise. Just for that though, nostalgically or whatever, seeing that would be fun. Again, the Kansas City Buffalo games are fucking phenomenal though.
Yeah, but I'd love to see Kansas City get knocked out myself because I'm sick and tired of Kansas City.
They're such a good game, and finally, knowing this year it won't be a fucking Buffalo getting jobbed out of that, not to have the opportunity to possess the ball. As much as Ed, and I don't know if he or Mike O are still in here, I don't really want to see Philly. They won a couple years ago. I'm good. If I saw Giants San Fran again, that's a 1990 matchup. That's LT versus Montana. That's fucking Harry Carson, Roger Craig. That's go right back.
Dallas San Fran in the 90s was a big thing in the postseason.
Oh yeah,
so
that was your AFC or your NFC championship. How many years. I mean,
Yep.
those two were either in this round or the next, or the conference championship round. So
I think Dallas still has a pretty good shot. It depends on if they play at the caliber that they're capable of, but they have to be firing on all cylinders,
mhm,
and they have to be, firing on all cylinders throughout the entire game,
yes,
which they can do. They've shown that throughout this season in some of their games. But going against San Francisco, you can't get too far behind and expect to work your way back into a football
no,
game. I don't
they
think.
got way too many offensive weapons. They can grind it out. You start letting Bosa and Greenlaw and all those Freddie Warner. You start letting them loose, and well, good luck.
Yep.
You don't stand a chance. So you got to match touchdown for touchdown. You got to match extra point for extra point. You can't have it like last night and the kicker missing 4 field
Yep.
or extra point.
4 extra points.
That's so
Like last week, what was Buffalo's margin of victory?
3.
And they had 2 return touchdowns, right? 2 touchdowns from the special teams.
That was 2 weeks ago, I think, against the Patriots, the end of the year.
No, I thought. Oh,
Because that was
yeah,
when
you're right.
that was-
I was watching because I was interested in the outcome for Steelers. So, like, everybody was kind of griping about they not getting in by, things didn't fall our way. I'm like, we barely got the 2 of the 3 things that needed happening. Like the easiest one was our own game, but I was thinking, geez, yeah, Buffalo wouldn't even won had they not had 2 returns for touchdowns. Kind of crazy. Yeah, it's any given Sunday for sure.
I just hope that we've got good games across the board. I don't.
Last year's gonna be tough to beat.
The Buffalo Kansas City game, absolutely. That in itself was the best game I have ever seen.
by far.
But it's one of those. I don't want blowouts. I don't want defensive struggles. I want back and forth. Those are the entertaining games. Do I like a defensive struggle on occasion? Absolutely. But when you look at the teams that are left from an offensive perspective, you may see some big scores.
Yeah.
Some big scores. Because even though like the Giants don't have what I would consider huge, phenomenal offensive talent, they can put up points.
hmm
So
I
we'll
can't
see.
name one receiver on the Giants.
Galladay. Kenny Galladay is the only one, and he's barely done jack shit.
We got Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins or somebody. He's been their main guy. I think they got a guy from the Niners, that Richie James used to be like a return man out there. And they got tight ends, but I don't. Again, Engram's in Jacksonville now, so I'd have.
Joe Jurevicius?
He might be there. Amani Toomer, Ike Hilliard, I think they're there.
Ike Hilliard.
Going back to the 90s.
One of my old PCs, shockingly. I know.
No, you guys
I
from
was half
97?
expecting you to say when I asked earlier, who you guys know any Rod Strickland collectors, that you were going to say, yeah, me.
I like him, but there again, it's like I don't need.
What
I know.
about
Somebody else?
Stephon Marbury?
There used to be a guy on YouTube, Starberry something, that used to collect Star Child, and he hasn't been on.
You're not talking about Starberry Matrix, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize he was a Starberry collector, but that would make sense based on the YouTube name.
So yeah, it was many many moons ago in 2018 when YouTube started.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, on that note, we did get to the playoffs discussion briefly.
And yes, hopefully Calvin Ridley's got his fucking
Act
money,
together.
life, the shit together, all the, as the kids say, all the ducks in a row. So,
Facts.
because he's a good talent too, and that gives Lawrence another fucking weapon. And this day and age, as we've found out many a time, cannot have too many weapons. Right, Iran?
All right, Dave. I think we can wrap it up. We actually went longer than what we have in a while.
You're welcome. I mean, I'm sorry.
So, thank you for Mark for jumping on, Robert for jumping on. The chat, again, very engaging. That always helps, as we mentioned many a time. When you have 0 viewers and 0 comments, it's a struggle, especially when you put it as private. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. So, hopefully there won't be any shots fired. Hopefully Ed won't have to run at National this year. I don't want anybody going after him and his duffel bag, his European shoulder strap purse, his fanny
European
pack.
carry-on. Yes.
That fanny pack, I don't want him to have to do the fanny pack flex on somebody with a gat. So just be cool. Stay in your lane. Okay? Stay in your lane.
Leave your gats at home.
Yeah. Buy cards, not guns or drugs. So, for Robert, for Vinny, for Steve, I'm Dave. It's been the Insert Revolution podcast. Remember, collecting cards, wonderful hobby. The friendships you forge along the way, that's what really matters. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.